बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मदिन व अला आलि मुहम्मदिन व बारिक व सल्लि अलैहि। Dear colleague, this is young patient, male patient with complaint of pain in the right testes for the last 6 days. So now I'm going to scan the scrotal region. This is the left testes, which is normal one, and this is the right testes. So if we compare both, we can appreciate that the left testes is relative hypoechoic, heterogeneous, and comparing with the normal right testes, normal left testes. So this is and also if we see the scrotal skin, the skin on the affected side is increased, and on the normal side we can see that the scrotal skin is thickened on the affected side when compared with the normal one. And also the size of the epididymal head, it is increased when compared with the size of the unaffected side. So we can say that the scrotal skin is thickened on the affected side, epididymis, and the right testes as relative hypoechoic echotexture when compared with the normal one, and they are enlarged also. This is the epididymal head, which is enlarged, right testes, which is hypoechoic, and this is the scrotal skin, which is thickened. So these three signs are present, and also if we closely observe, we can appreciate the minimal reactive hydrocele, this black one, around the testes, while on the affected side no hydrocele is present. Another sign is the increased vascularity. There is always hyperperfusion, hyperemia, or hypervascularity on the affected side. So if we put the color on the right side, we can see that there is increased vascularity of the affected side, and also the epididymal head has also the increased vascularity. And if we see the unaffected side, no increased vascularity is present. Here we can compare the both testes. The vascularity is more on the affected side. So this is another sign. And also if we see the spectrum waveform on the affected side, the peak systolic velocity will be increased on the affected side. Here we can see that this has the almost 11 centimeter per second, and the diastolic flow is of low resistance. Now I am going to take the spectrum waveform of parenchymal vessels, parenchymal artery, and we can appreciate that the peak systolic velocity has reached above 15 centimeter per second, and there is low resistance forward diastolic flow. So this is another sign that is highly diagnostic that the peak systolic velocity will be on the affected side will be higher and than the unaffected side, and there will be low resistant diastolic blood flow. So this is another sign. Now if we compare the second one, this is the normal side, we can appreciate that there is peak systolic velocity is very low. This is almost 5 millimeter, 5.4 millimeter. So always the peak systolic velocity of the affected side is higher than the unaffected side. Look at the increased vascularity. So this was the case of epididymoarchitis, and the differential for this is the intermittent torsion. Sonographically, there is no difference between the intermittent torsion and epididymoarchitis. So both will show the increased vascularity. On intermittent torsion, when the torsion is released, there is high reperfusion, increased reperfusion of the affected testes. So this will also give the look of epididymoarchitis. So how we will differentiate between these two? Always it is on the clinical basis. We should ask the history from the clinician or the patient. If the pain is persistent, then it is epididymoarchitis, and if the pain is released off and on, then it is intermittent torsion of the testes. So this is the difference on the clinical ground. Sonographically, no difference can be made. And how this epididymoarchitis occur? Mostly it is retrograde inflammation from the lymphatics and the ductus deferens of the spermatic cord that carry the infection from the prostate or the uribladder, UTI. Then it goes to involve the epididymis and then the testes. And it may be also the viral infection, it may also may be. So we should also take the history of the UTI prostatitis to rule out the cause of the epididymoarchitis. So this was all about the epididymoarchitis. Thank you very much.